All set? Awesome.
Doing great.
Okay, guys, we are back live from New Beginnings here at the Jersey Shore, the People's Republic of New Jersey.
Oh, this is great.
And I know that you know the fellow sitting next to me, the big deal, but I'm going to give you a proper introduction.
Oh, good.
All right?
Finally, it's about time.
We're going to take about 20
Dr.
minutes. I'm going to do all the talking. Lee's
Right.
going to say nothing.
All right. I just look good. That's all I do here.
All right. I just put a couple things together that I thought were important to share. You're a board member of the IFCO.
Mm-hmm.
You were the IFCO Chiropractor of the Year, 2013.
Oh, nice. I did that
Nice
one.
little trophy.
That
I
was
got
nice.
some hardware down there, too.
Yeah. That's right. You did win something.
Yeah, absolutely. A board member of Sherman College.
That's right.
You're Aurora
Oh,
member.
excuse me. You forgot something. Sherman College, the #1 chiropractic college in the Americas.
Right, absolutely. You are a chiropractor icon.
Icon. I'm iconic. That's correct.
Iconic, yep.
And humble.
I have over here, you're the co-founder of Shubel Vision Worldwide.
Yes, with Dr. Jack Borla and Dr. Judd O'Grady.
Awesome.
As you know.
Yep. The co-author of one of the hottest selling books in the nation.
That is correct. Has to be Chiropractors. We're co-authored by Dr. Judd O'Grady.
And you're the self-appointed leader of the Chiropractic World Domination.
That is correct. I am the official director of Chiropractic World Domination, self-appointed.
The true big deal, Liam Schubel.
That would be me.
All right,
well,
awesome.
Dr. Hahn, it's a pleasure to be here. You know, something that most people don't know, because they say, "Hey, Dr. Schubel, who adjusts your family?" You know, and I asked my wife the other day. You know, we travel all around the world and we get adjusted by some of the greatest chiropractors on the planet. And I asked her, you know, we're going to be at New Beginnings this week, and who's your favorite chiropractor? And of course, I was hoping she'd say me. That didn't happen. It was this guy, Dr. Hahn over here. She said, "You're the greatest chiropractic adjuster that she's ever met in her life." So, you know, what's that all about, Dr. Hahn?
I definitely owe her a dinner.
Well,
thank you, Ning.
And I love your new office. I got to tell you, it's fantastic. You are a credit to the profession. Dr. Hahn is a referral maniac to Sherman College. We were just talking with another phenomenal. What a bright leader that you just had. You brought here to New Beginnings, and he's going down to Sherman Lyceum next week, May 1st to 3rd. Man, I mean, you got it on. You're not only walking the walk, you're talking the talk, you're talking the talk, and you're walking the walk. All those things at once.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have. I just find that it's really, really important to give back to the profession in any way, and that's what I focus on. I want to do things that give back to the profession. IFCO gives back to the profession. IFCO-TV gives back to the profession. And we did how'd you like to talk on Thursday?
On Thursday, your talk?
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I got to tell you, he got mobbed. He was like a celebrity after the thing. And you know what it is, Frank? He talked. Frank, in my view, has the #1 spinal screening technique and procedure in the whole profession worldwide. This is a guy who could, from an investment of $50 to $200, $300 for a community event on the weekend, he sets up a table, and the guy could book 50 to 100. I'm talking paid visits, 50 to 100 new practice members. So, like, why wouldn't you want to know that? You know, he got mobbed after with the students and the doctors. And, you know, they're hungry for it. They're not learning this stuff in school, Frank. You know, I just did a little like 20, 30-minute communication thing with the students here. And, you know, you just watch their eyes like, holy smokes, I can't believe I didn't know what I don't know. Like, you know, this kind of a thing. They were just absolutely hungry they're on fire about chiropractic. They're spizzed up about chiropractic, but they need the tools to be able to get that message to the population. You know, there's people like you, there's people like me, Scott Garber, Mark Swerdlick is doing a lot of work in that department. You know, bringing techniques and strategies to get this message that we all love so much to more people on the planet. So we actually don't have like a 3.8% usage of chiropractic. We need to get up there on Chiropractic World Domination, 100%.
Absolutely. Speaking of Scott Garber, we were up at his event.
What a great event that was.
Yeah. Awesome.
Oh, phenomenal.
I had to cut out early so our paths didn't cross. We had an IFCO-TV live from there. That went great. But how was the rest of the event? I had to take off early on that one.
Frank, you know, once you left with the pastries, it went downhill from that point. But, you know, my talk was the highlight of the whole weekend, I must say. Scott Garber only gave me about 2 minutes to speak, but boy, they were the best 2 minutes that I ever had in my life. And really, I knocked it alive. Dr. Mark Swerlick, again, on Friday night was phenomenal. You know, just an hour worth of solid note-taking, just learning information about how to market chiropractic. I mean, and market-principled chiropractic. It was brilliant.
That was the first time that I met Scott. And amazing person, just amazing. Like, goes out of his way to try to help you. He came down to us and tried to make sure that we were satisfied and had everything we need, and he had all this stuff going on with his event, and he was coming down and asking us, do we need anything?
Scott is a first-class individual. You know, he set all the speakers up beautifully. The location is by far one of the greatest locations as far as, you know, you really get this feeling that as a chiropractor you're someone of value, and Scott puts on an event that creates a tremendous amount of value in the beautiful Berkshire Mountains in Massachusetts, and he brings together some of the greatest chiropractic minds on the planet that are all focused. I mean, Keith Wassung, another one, did brilliant presentations on communication. You know, we had some of the greatest chiropractic minds on the planet all together and all working to get more chiropractic to more people with real world strategies that work. And Scott has been a big player in that. Scott also, by the way, cut a check from the weekend to a huge check to the IFCO. He's written huge checks to Sherman College in the past. I know next year he's doing his event for ICPA.
Absolutely.
So the man is changing the face of how we do chiropractic seminars in the United States, and really, you know, not making it about let's just get a bunch of butts and seats so we can make a big profit. Let's get some butts and some seats. Let's give those people in the seats strategies that will help their lives and their practices, and then let's take some of the proceeds from that and donate it back to moving the chiropractic puck forward. You know where Scott also wrote a big check to FVSR, right? The Vertebral Subluxation Research Organization. So I love the guy. I can't say enough good stuff about him.
Scott's setting a model for others to follow.
That's right.
And isn't Danny Knowles doing something like that in the Mile High?
Danny Knowles is doing Mile High. Last year, Danny Knowles gave a big check to Sherman College and IFCO, and he's doing it again this year, and it's going to be bigger and bigger. And what I think these organizations are finding is, you know what? The rah-rah and the spiz, everybody loves that. And by the way, I still think it's valuable. I think it's valuable that chiropractors get together in a family environment and you know, just shower themselves with love and understanding and peace and love and happiness. But listen, we also got to have real-world strategies to get that the information of TIC, the Teaching Innate Chiropractic, out to the public. So I think we need to develop more types of seminars that include a little bit of both of those. And again, at the end result of the weekend, you say, I made an impact. I made an impact. This has been significant. It's made a change in the profession. It's moving things forward. Otherwise, you know, if we keep doing the same thing over and over and over, we're going to continue down that spiral of mediocrity. Insane. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So that was a great event. Let's talk. We're here live at New Beginnings. So let's give the people at home a little bit of what's the vibe been like. I know you've been here since Thursday. I was as well.
Well, I have to tell you, this Thursday was probably one of the best Thursdays I've ever been to. You know, in spite of like CE credit, normally you hear CE credit and you're going, although I got to tell you, Garden State guys do a great CE program. But, you know, we had CE credit, but it was fun. It was exciting. There was great information passed around. I know the student program, the students are on fire here. We have about 40 students from Sherman College of Chiropractic. I believe there's about 10 students from Northwestern Chiropractic College. There's one student from Life University, and I don't know if was there any other students?
There's some undergrad students.
Undergrad students as well. Okay, so a lot of students here, a lot of doctors here, and again, the energy, the speakers, the quality of the speakers here, I thought has been phenomenal. You know, in comparison to maybe other years or other events. I think Jim Dubell and the team really upped their game for this one. It's been entertaining. It's been exciting. It's been all about the hugging and the loving.
I like the way that they grouped everybody together, because they could on the Thursday morning they couldn't have done a better job. It seemed like everything flowed one after another. Ron Castellucci spoke, and he spoke on ethics and how interesting can you make ethics. I know. I spoke on that for the Garden State. So you have to do a good job. But he flowed right into it, and then my talk afterwards
Yeah.
like fit his perfectly.
Yeah.
So they did a great job putting it all together.
Well, Jim Dubell does have that
Mhm.
talent in building a crescendo, and
Right.
and you saw Thursday was phenomenal. Friday just up to the Eddie Diaz was
Mhm.
phenomenal on Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, talking about significance. You know that not only when you become successful in chiropractic, but then how to move to the next level and leaving a legacy and
Right,
and
right.
getting involved in your political organizations and in the schools. And then this morning, the thing lit off like a rocket ship,
Mhm.
didn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
like we just
absolutely.
had one great speaker after another, all here. And by the way, you know, one of my favorites of the morning was, who are you going to
Who's
guess? Me. No.
Yeah, I'm sure.
After that, one of my favorites was Dr. Ed Cordero.
Right.
Did he knock it out of the park for
Out
Sherman
of the
College?
park, yeah.
Out of the park.
I was over there
Mhm.
listening to it, and I actually got some videotape of it
Oh,
too.
wow.
So we're going to
Okay.
be putting that out there for you too.
How'd you like the Sherman College video? Was that phenomenal?
That was awesome.
You know, we got to find out. Go on to www.sherman.edu and go look up this video. Holy smokes! I every time I watch it, I'm in tears because it's like so awesome. It really capitulates exactly what it is that Sherman's about, and the understanding of the philosophy, science, and art of chiropractic, and how Sherman brings it all together. And it truly shows how Sherman really is the choice for chiropractic in the
Right.
Americas.
Absolutely.
You know,
And,
as it stands right now.
We have Lyceum coming up next week.
Oh my goodness! I got to go get my RV on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Myself and Dr. Shane Walker,
another
you know,
field
president of IFCO. Yeah, we're going to be there on campus. So if you see us walking around in towels, it's because we're showering over at the health center.
You've been driving all
Yeah.
over the place. Usually we see you flying all over the place. You've been
Yeah,
putting
doing
some
a lot
miles
of
on
a
those
lot of
tires.
miles on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I came up. I
Mhm.
came up to New Beginnings. Drove straight through 2 days from
Right.
Naples, Florida, with my family. I was down there masterminding with Dr. Shane Walker, president of the IFCO, and you know, we had a chance to stop in at Washington D.C. To see the
Right.
Cherry Blossom Festival, and we were out at Thomas Jefferson's house.
Mhm.
One of my favorites, Monticello. I've been there so many times. The father of free speech, they say, wrote the Declaration of Independence. Just a wonderful place to visit. I was down there looking at a couple homes. There was
Nice.
one of $12 million that we took a look through. So
Nice little
my
tour.
wife will probably be signing the papers on that, and I'll have to go back to work again.
Is she ready?
Yeah, but gosh, you know, just a great time. And then I come here, and
Mhm.
again, you know, somebody said it the other day. When you get here and Jim Dubell gives you a hug, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm home. I'm at a family event again. I was just talking to
Right.
Dr. Matt McCoy, and he
Mhm.
was saying, you know what, I've grown up with these people. This is family to me. And yes, families. We all have our issues. We all have our concerns. But you know what? We love each other, and
Mhm.
and we work to try to bring people up on a higher plane, you know, rather than drag them down.
Right. Absolutely. Let's talk about the IFCO. You're board member of the
Yeah.
IFCO. What's going on with IFCO nowadays?
Well, IFCO, some real key events, pivotal events that are happening. Number one, we've got the summit coming up in September, the IFCO Global Summit. It's going to be the first time we've had the Global Summit here in about 4 or 5 years. You know, one of the initial complaints that people had about the IFCO, number one, they had this idea it was a hate trade organization, which couldn't be farther from the truth if you've been to one of these things. I mean, we're about analysis, detection, and correction of vertebral subluxation, but we do that in a loving way. We're about promoting that throughout the world. So we're attracting people from all over the world. The second complaint that people had about the IFCO was that it was an American organization. Well, certainly we've proven that untrue. We've done 4 different summits now in different parts of the world, each one more successful than the other one. And now this thing just happened. They're getting together. You know, it kind of lit off a firestorm. The AECC, the Anglo-European Chiropractic College, is starting an IFCO organization. Now, traditionally, this is a group that has been very musculoskeletal, manipulative, you know, this kind of therapeutic type chiropractic college. But the students are requesting that we have an IFCO on campus. They want to get this information. And one of the leaders there in the ECU contacted our IFCO representative and said, hey, you know, this is not the type of chiropractic we want in Europe. And they're like, this is chiropractic. What are you talking about? This is not the type of chiropractic you want. This is what chiropractic is.
What are you doing?
And you know, and in essence, if you're the leader of the ECU, it's a union, so you should be okay with us being there. And if you want to do Sir Mix-a-thon and do your physiotherapy, good for you. You guys do that. We're not about eliminating you. We're about just ensuring that people have access to vertebral subluxation correction. If you got a problem with that, then we're going to have a problem, and we're going to tango. And of course, he backed down because you know we're on the side of truth. And so now we've got the IFCO student program getting started at AACC. And what amazed me, Frank, was our European members of ICO stood up and just said, don't worry, Shubel, we got this. We're taking this under control. You know, it's been years now. I've been pushing. Now leaders are taking up all over the world. Same thing with Australia. I got a phone call from Australia from some powerful young docs there that are saying, hey, man, how come we don't have IFCO here in Australia and New Zealand? I just got 2 invites to go speak at DG, which is one of the largest chiropractic seminars that they have over there in Melbourne, Australia, for next year. I'm excited about that. And then I'm going to be at the New Zealand Chiropractic College Lyceum in September of next year.
Wow.
So that we're going to be bringing IFCO to Australasia. So, and in Brazil, we're making huge changes in the current structure of chiropractic, bringing in the IFCO. We've got 3 different countries right now that we're working on passing what I call Kent's Law, Christopher Kent's Law, of ensuring, again, not excluding anybody that wants to do mixing, but just making sure that chiropractic in itself, the analysis, detection, and correction of vertebral subluxation, is allowed to be practiced in these countries, and that is what chiropractic is. You want to do other stuff? Great. Just call it other stuff. Not a problem. So we're taking over the world. That's on the international front, Frank. That's on the student front. And the other exciting thing is the impact that we're having on the state boards. We've had 12 different people put on state boards in this past year. We have a paid professional that is actually consulting with us. And it really is amazing how simple it is to get on a state board. All you have to do, and believe me, if you've ever met some of the people on state boards, they're no geniuses. Okay, no offense, New Jersey, but you know, they're not geniuses. They're just people that understand how the system works, and they've made a commitment to get involved in the system. And that's how they've taken the profession away from us. They've taken the profession away from us because while we're busy taking care of people in our offices saying, oh, I hate politics. Well, believe me, Frank, I hate politics too. But I can tell you this, you either control politics or politics controls you. And, you know, I'm about chiropractic world domination. I'm not about chiropractic world get dominated. You know, that's not my idea. So easy opportunities to step up, and I got to tell you, there's something real cool about being on the state board. I mean, you get to hang out with the governor. You know, Dr. Knowles' wife, Rochelle Knowles, Dr. Rochelle Knowles, she's a superstar. Absolutely. She is probably one of the people that, thanks to her, you know, we don't have chiropractors in Colorado giving vaccinations and delivering drugs and injectables. You know, but these are the kind of real people that are involved with the IFCO that are stepping up and making it happen. And if you're watching at home, you know, now would be a good time for you to get involved. Because I'm telling you, I know you might think like, well, I don't know anything about politics. I don't know anything about student organizations. I don't know anything about chiropractic internationally. Hey, listen, neither did I. All I did was make a decision and a commitment to get involved. And what happens is, when you make the decision, the Red Seas part, and the path becomes clear, and you find yourself getting more and more into the matrix, and you find yourself becoming more and more a valuable person, creating a significant impact on the planet. And isn't it, in the end, that's what it's all about? What did your life here mean? What was the purpose of your life? Make money? You know, hey, listen, I'm into that. Let's make make all the money we can with chiropractic. But listen. After that, there's some bigger things that we need to make happen. And I just think of like B.J. Palmer. You know, he was wealthy beyond belief just with owning the television station. Imagine if he had just said quit, you know, and there was no chiropractic. I'll tell you this, there wouldn't be a lot of people right now living there would be a lot of people dead that are living right now, and there certainly would be a lot more people with a lot more different disease and dysfunction if it wasn't for B.J. Palmer committed to leaving a legacy greater than himself.
Right. And I know later on we're going to be having a conversation with Tom Gilardi.
I'm excited about that.
Very, very excited. So
coming up next, right?
Yeah, coming up next. Yeah, in about 10 minutes.
Good.
So let's talk about Shubel Vision for a moment, because IFCO-TV is going to be out live at Shubel Vision next.
That's right.
So what's going on with Shubel Vision now?
Shubel Vision, that's one of my favorite topics, I must say, to talk about. Shubel Vision was created because what we realized is the #1 determining factor for success in chiropractic today is communication, the ability to communicate chiropractic. And what we found was that students are on this kind of rat trap. They keep running, you know, this rat wheel. They're running on a wheel, running on a wheel, running on a wheel, trying to get through school, and they completely ignore learning this crucial skill of communication. And many times, you know, students can't get to New Beginnings because they can't afford the trip or whatever it is. So what we found is if we could bring the Shubel Vision, you know, the idea that communication is the key to chiropractic world domination, if we could bring that strategy to the students, it would transform their lives. And I must tell you, we just got done in Shubel Vision Davenport, and we had a packed house there. And during the course of the weekend, literally, I would say about half of the people that were attending were in tears at one point, just because they had never been told how awesome what it is we do at Chiropractors. I mean, they're at the Fountainhead, and the Fountainhead is not teaching what it used to teach, and as far as, you know, chiropractic philosophy, science, and art. And so many of the comments were like, Dr. Schubel, I always knew what we did was awesome, and now being here, I realize that it is, and I realize that there are strategies that I need to learn in order to communicate it, and I've seen some of the greatest communicators in the profession on your stage teaching me the tips and strategies to communicate chiropractic effectively. So it was an empowering weekend, and I'm very excited. We have coming up May 30th and 31st. This is going to be the second time that we've been at you know, in the Parker University realm. We're going to be in Dallas, Texas. We're not on campus, but we'll be at a hotel very close by. And that'll be May 30th and May 31st. And I expect, you know, probably we're going to be doubling the attendance that we had last time because we put on a phenomenal event. And you know what? Again, the students are not getting this information. So if you're not going to teach it at the school, fine. We'll come in and we'll teach it. And by the way, I'm not saying that about Parker College or Parker University. I'm just saying in many universities, these students are not getting this message. And so I feel a moral commitment to take it to them. And that's what Shubel Vision is all about.
I'll tell you what, I have students, graduates from different chiropractic colleges come in and visit my office because they want to see what's going on, and they heard that I can share chiropractic pretty easily and simply with the communities. And I asked them to explain chiropractic to me simply like if I was a 5-year-old. And the complicated words that they use, it just is not easy to understand. They're confusing to people, and that's some of the things. They need to be clear. They can't be fuzzy. Clarity is very, very valuable when you're trying to communicate chiropractic.
You know, Frank, one of the most, it's a great point you make, one of the most fascinating things that I saw was in one of the summits. It was down in Lima, Peru. Were you there?
I was not, but I watched it on...
you watched it live?
Yep.
You know, Reggie Gold, it was one of the last talks that he gave. And he got up and told the chiropractic story, and it was being run through a translator. And at the end of the weekend, we did, you know, critiques. Who was the best speaker and why? And guess who came up number one? I mean, here's an 80-year-old man coming up, basically hobbling up on stage. You know, his voice was failing him. He could barely breathe, right? And he's up there, and he's communicating chiropractic. Then it's being translated, and he was their favorite speaker. Why? Not because he was incredibly animated. He had like a nice suit on, or you know, he had some kind of technology. He had the ability to communicate chiropractic simply and clearly, and that is clearly what the people love.
Yep. Absolutely. And when I was watching, you saw him, he got called up and he walked up there nice and gingerly, kind of slow. But as soon as he hit that stage and those words started to flow,
that's right,
he was animated.
Yeah. He turned into a totally different, like a way younger version of Reggie Gold. And so I think communication, Reggie was called the great communicator. I think that is one of the keys that we need to do to unleash the potential of our profession. And that's why Shubel Vision is in Dallas coming up May 30th, 31st. We are going to be, I will tell you, in Spartanburg, the center of the chiropractic universe, July 11th and 12th, and we will be on campus. Sherman College is about the only college that is permitting us to be on campus. I wonder why that is. Maybe we're not a threat over there, but because actually they want that information out. Okay. San Francisco, excuse me, this is another college. Life West has allowed us to be on campus.
Awesome.
Why? Again, because they want their students to know how to communicate chiropractic effectively. That is, by the way, Spartanburg will be July 11th and 12th. Already have people signing up for that. San Francisco, October 10th and 11th, people signing up for that one as well. And I got to tell you, there's a transformational shift that is occurring in the profession, And Frank, I'm proud to be a part of it with you. I tell you, you have done some wonderful things for this profession. I think as far as communicating, having this IFCO television, having the ability to get this message to the world, because I know there are people watching this right now, Frank, in Europe that are saying, finally, somebody with our message is getting this out to the world, and they want to get on board, and they want to learn the strategies and the tools and the tips to communicate chiropractic more effectively. And you know, it's through the works of people like you, Dr. Bradbury, that are making this happen. Right. Dr. Bradbury, I'm always fascinated. There was on the Twilight Zone, there was a writer named, I think, Ray Bradbury. But anyway, I always think about Twilight Zone. But he's bringing us the Twilight Zone of chiropractic, and that is, you know, do you actually understand the power of what we do? And can you communicate chiropractic effectively? And the IFCO is all about that. Sherman College is all about that. And certainly, you know, the work that we're doing at Shubel Vision is all about that.
Liam, share with the folks how they can get in touch with you or to a Shubel Vision seminar. Okay,
real simple. www.shubelvisionworldwide.com. And that's SCHUBEL Vision Worldwide.com. My email is Liam Schubel, LIAMSCHUBEL @hotmail.com. Feel free to contact me. We have information on our website, Frank, not only about the seminars that we offer in communication, but we also have mission trips, www.thebestmissiontripever.com. It's a mission trip with a low self-esteem. We have a lot of chiropractic products and services that we offer. And we also have opportunities to be an associate down in Chiropractic Utopia.
Absolutely.
Probably earn more than many doctors of chiropractic make in the profession, and at the same time learn how to be a chiropractic commando, where I can drop you out of a plane in any country in the world and you can come out with your pisiforms blaring. We teach it at ShubelVisionWorldwide.com. And Frank, what a pleasure it's been to be on this this call with you.
I'm so glad we're in the same business, chiropractic, in this profession. It's dynamite.
Yep.
Thanks for coming out, Liam.
My pleasure, brother.
All right, awesome. Next up is Tom Gilardi.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Good job.